Hello everyone and welcome to our Love Art and Learn channel. So today we are going to be looking at drawing this beautiful clouded leopard. This particular image was taken from a Vietnamese site because they're doing a lot of conservation over there to save the clouded leopards because they're nearly to extinction. So that's why I chose it from there. I'm just going to change into my reading glasses and then we'll start looking at how we're going to draw this beautiful big cat. So I've gone for a close-up as opposed to an elongated version. So in that respect, I do appreciate that you don't necessarily get the sort of the clouded effect that you can just see here. You don't get it so much in the face. The markings are a little bit different there, but that is what I wanted to focus on. I do apologise knocking that there. So let's have a look at how we might draw it. Now, when I start to draw things like this, what I'm looking at is the fact that the cat is looking straight at us here. And then I'm going to look sort of underneath the eyes there, just to see where that crossover point is. You can't really see it in the photograph, but I'm looking at that crossover point. So at this point you can just take the sort of measurements up to this bit here where the mouth is, or you can elongate it. I tend to take it up to the mouth and then add on from here. So what I'm going to do is look at the overall shape as that comes out like that. If it helps, you can put a cross down in the middle there as well if that helps you. So let's get started. Right, so I'm going to put a cross in here and then just going across as well. So this may get longer, we'll see how we go. So the head's starting up here and it's sort of coming out quite wide. And then it starts to come in here. The length of these we can just measure out. So if we look at our initial picture, we can look at the width of the face there and then compare it to the length. So the width of the face is the same as the length up to the mouth. So if I just check that off on my drawing, width of the face is the same as the length, so it is like a circle in that part there, so that's fine. Up to about here, and then it sort of elongates. We've got like this sort of square chin, if you like that underneath. So for me, where I've got these eyes in here, I need to check if the eyes are in the right position as well. So just bringing that picture back in, and again measuring from here, there to there, and then just seeing, look at that. And it is literally halfway, so that's quite interesting. So I've done that on mine anyway, got it halfway. And then I'm looking at just the space, because the cat's looking straight at you, this sort of negative space in here. And I now know that these lovely eyes are sitting on this line here. So I'm going to draw the full circles in, and just to make sure it's the right height, come over and draw that full circle in there, like that. And then what I'm going to do is then look at where that eye is there, and it just sort of curves round like that, and again at the bottom here, but this time it's not covering the eye, it's going sort of following that eye circle around like that. So what we've got is then it sort of chops off that top part there, but it's always easier if you actually just draw the whole circle in, I find. and then you can just go around like that in here, and then it's got its tiny sort of slits, if you like, around like that. And then the same over here. So starting in that corner, it's going over the top of the eye, around there, and as it comes round, it's then encompassing the bottom part and coming round like that. And again, you can then just go back in and reinforce that circle in like that. And again, it's got its sort of eyes just in there. So this black bit here sort of comes down a little bit more, as does that side. And then you've got this lovely sort of pattern here. And obviously the black elongates even more on this side. And again, you've got this lovely dark pattern, and you've got this dark edge that's coming around there. Now the nose, as the nose comes round, if you sort of look, let's bring this picture back in. If you look at this, what I'm just drawing, if you follow this down, it goes down to the nose. So this sort of curve that we drew in here, follow it down, and it comes down to the nose. So to know where the nose sits, what I do now that I've drawn this eye in is I'll measure my eye, and I'll see how many eyes can I fit in to this length. So I'm going to measure the actual circular bit, this bit here, the circular bit, not this length, the circle. Just have a look at that with my pencil, and then come down, and it's about 2. So let's have a look. The width of mine there, from the middle there, 1, 2. So that's going to be the top of my nose going across there. And if I bring this back in again, the top of the nose, if I look how wide it is, this side is definitely lining up with the eye, this side less so. But you know, it's good, it's just good to know. So this side's measuring up with there, this side isn't. So that's the top. And then we've got with the nose is sort of, you know, elongated bit there as well, either side. You've got the nose here, wonderful shape in there that really swishes in, and then that comes down, sort of swishes round, and then into a point. So swishes round this side into a point there. So just to make sure that length is right, I'm going to go back to my eye again, just the circular bit, and then measure it. It's about the same, so whatever that width is there, I'm going to measure that, and that's about the same as the depth there. And then you've got that bit in the middle, and then where it comes down like that. See a slight opening here, not much, and then that chin is curving round a bit like that. So that's sort of the main parts, if you like. Now secondly to this is putting in the ears. So let's bring this picture back in. When you look at the ears there, it's right in the middle of that eye. Not so much on this one, it sits more to the outer skirts of that eye. So the ear's sitting in the middle of this eye there, and to the outer part of this eye. So I'm just putting those markings in. And then at the bottom here, what I'm actually looking at is where it sits. If I do a horizontal line, where that ear sits. So do my horizontal line, and that sort of gauges, you know, that sort of ear shape is around here. And it's coming round. Now to make sure this isn't too big or too small, I'm going to go back to my eye, just the circle bit, and then look at the edge of the ear. 1, so 2 and a bit. Go back to my eye, look at my ear, 1, 2 and a bit, so that's fine. And then the same, and that across over there. That sort of gives me my indication where that ear is going to be as well. Sketch that in there. And then we've got the shape of the head in there anyway, like that. The side of the face is actually just coming a little bit more slender than I've got there, and it still comes round. And then this side, it is a little bit more slender there. The side of the wood or trunk that is leaning against, I'm just going to put that in, like there. It looks like it's got a bit of a leg that's just sort of coming around there on the side. And it looks like it's got a paw actually just coming around here. But you can't see it too clearly, so I'm not going to get too muddled with it. I'm just looking at the shapes really. That's coming right down there actually. Right, so now for these markings, all important markings. So rather than trying to put them in separately, I'm just looking at the shapes that are made by them at the moment. And just draw those kind of in there. And then over this side, a little not as thick over this side. And it's just sort of drawing the shapes in. Now, cat's stripes are unique to themselves, so a bit like us humans with our fingerprints, each cat has its own particular stripes. So in that respect, don't worry too much if you don't get everything perfectly perfect. But it's quite good just to look at these shapes. And then you've got the odd circles. And then you've got the four there. Then you've got like the stripes coming over. So they're quite thin. And then you've got more stripes, but they're a bit more broken up. But you can draw the line in, and then you can just sort of literally draw on the line if it is more broken up. There, and it sort of comes around a bit longer there. And the same going across. And they get a little bit tighter towards the back of the head, they go around there. Like that. And then we've got, as it comes round, we've got these markings around here. So that looks like that might best come a little bit thinner still actually. And you've got these lovely markings underneath, look like teardrops under there. And if it helps, draw that line in, because then you can just put the markings on and it will go up to that line. And then the same over this side. Although the markings this side are slightly different. And again, it's coming round. And then you've got the just slightly different colour as it comes round, like that. And then you've got the these bits elongated up there. And then you've got the shapes of the whiskers. So the whiskers are coming round. So draw that line in. And then run just right round there. And then the same this side. always sort of look for that to see if it marries up. And once you've got that line in, then you can go in and draw the little spots. And there you've got some sort of darker pattern around there. And then we've got some markings just on the side here, following almost that one round. And the same this side. And then you've got this lovely wood. And then if I just draw myself a little frame, normally I'd do that first, to be honest, but I got so caught up in doing the drawing that I didn't think about it. And then you can always put a little bit of masking tape around that, just to frame it off and make it look just a bit smarter, really. So the markings in here, I'm just going to keep really quite light, really, because it's the face that I'm focusing on more so. Around there, so that will do. Ears, so it's lovely dark edge around the ears, and as it comes in you've got this lovely pattern there. It's quite dark around there, and then you've got another bit of the ear that comes round like that, and then you've got this the fur that sort of comes round. It's almost like a crescent moon there, and what you've got is the fur is just coming out. Like that, and then the same on the other side. So this perimeter of it is really quite dark. It sort of comes in a little bit there. Then you've got like another in a bit, and again the bits of fur that are coming in. Just look at the direction that it's going in. There, so that looks okay. Let's bring that in a bit. So once you've drawn it out, you can either go in and do a pen and wash if you want, that sort of thing. Go back over with pen, or just go in with watercolours or gouache, or a colour pencil, really. Yeah, like that. So that's the drawing of it. Hopefully that has helped. Obviously you've got whiskers and things like that to put in afterwards, the light whiskers. When you put the whiskers in, just make sure you're looking at almost like where they're coming from, these sort of circular, that's where they're coming out from. So just sort of be mindful of that when you draw them in, so you don't just draw them wherever around there. And there's a few sort of whiskers going on down here as well. So once you've drawn it, then you can go in. I think the idea of mine was I was going to go in with a bit of watercolour. What I'll do first, I won't do it on this demo because of the longer the demo, it takes longer to upload, but what I'm going to do is just show you or talk to you about what I'll do here, which is I've just seen that really comes out much further. Sorry, getting distracted now. Right, so the plan is that I'll go in with either watercolour gouache, and I'll mix up a black, and I'll just paint in all these black spots and lines, you know, the edges around here. Everywhere that's dark, I'm going to paint in all these first. Everything that's really, really dark first, around the eyes, everything. And when that's dry, then I'll go in with some lighter washes of colour. So you could paint it in black, or you could use a pen, whichever's more preferable to you. But hopefully that's enough to get you started on the actual picture itself. And I will see you soon.